Hey, good afternoon. Well, evening, almost. Yeah, nice sunset, huh? Hey, you waiting on somebody? You got that hungry look. Oh, him. Yeah, well, he's real busy, always meeting people, being inscrutable, this and that. Yeah, I'm pretty used to it. What? The story. Oh, the Skulltenders. Yeah, you want to know what happened to them after... Oh, after they wasted the pickle guy. Oh, well, all right, but I should warn you. This one's no picnic. It's late afternoon in Ghost Town, the city on the edge of the afterlife. Down at City Hall, where all the deals get made and all the souls get counted, one soul counter in particular had the end of their workday interrupted by a sudden summons to a meeting with the mayor. Visk, it's time for your quarterly review.
Oh God, what?
Yeah, in fact, you were already told about this, and you are now shooting along the Goomatic tube system on your way to your meeting. What's on your mind?
I feel sick. Oh no, Visk hates this. They don't know what to expect from this. Like,
where are we going?
Clanking in the pipe behind you is Jude, who is just sort of
Claude,
just banging off the sides of the pipe as you
like
go,
a bunch of change.
Corners. Yeah, he's like in your gooey sack, but like he's a little slower than you are.
Just disturbing every other workplace that this tube goes through with clanging noises.
We have somewhere to be. Where is it?
I don't even know if you're invited. You don't have to come, you know.
Are you going to leave me in a tube?
Well, I guess I don't know.
People are always leaving me in places. Boxes for decades. Tubes.
Okay, I understand abandonment issues. I understand. It's fine. You can come with if you want.
We can talk about... Oh, shit.
Here we he loses his train of thought as you splash out of the tube onto the roof. Make a dex save to see if you drop him.
Critical fail, bitch!
Okay, you drop him so hard that he skitters and clatters across the roof and almost falls off. But at the last second, a bony hand clasps him to the edge of the roof. You have a second to look around, and you see that 30-foot-tall brass birdcage that hangs in the air about a foot above the roof of City Hall. You remember, of course, this is Planchette's office usually.
Right.
Although the perch behind the child-sized mahogany desk in the birdcage is empty, meaning Planchette seems to have already knocked off for the day or just isn't here. That skeleton I mentioned to the south is wearing a blue suit with a simple black crown floating over his head. He's sitting on the edge of the roof, his long legs just kind of dangling off the edge, his hands in his lap as he leans forward, lost in thought. One of the hands is on the gun that you dropped. His loosened red tie is flipped over his shoulder, hot style, and he's silhouetted by the green light of the Eversoul floating in Bitter Bay at the other end of town. All that light is beginning to dim, as it does each evening, casting Ghost Town in the sickly green semi-darkness that passes for nighttime here.
Visk is thinking, wow, whoever made those mayoral portraits really did not successfully capture whatever this is. Wow.
Is that you, Visk?
Sir. Sorry. Yes, it's me, Visk, reporting in.
Yes, come have a chat. Thank you for making time.
Right.
I think you possibly dropped something. He's not turning around, but he is holding the gun up, just kind of giving it a little wave.
Thank you, sir. Yes, that is mine. Visk takes the gun back and just puts it away wherever away is.
Yeah, just back inside. You tell me, what is that? What is that like?
Kind of like putting it kind of in the tummy area, just shunk away. You wanted to see me, sir?
Yes. How are you doing, Visk? How are things in soul counting? Are you getting along with your supervisor, Xanthrax, isn't it?
At how are you doing, Visk knows they are not doing good. They are not well. They feel fucking weird. But instead they say, I'm fine. It's fine. Things are fine.
I know Xanthrax can be a bit of a pill at times, but they do keep things running smoothly, and they're focused on the big picture, which most of the time is what I need.
Oh, yes, they're a perfectly fine manager, of course. Very good at their job.
Yes. And your skull-tending work, how is that going? Are you getting along with the team?
Mostly. It is a bit difficult to, be thrust into a situation with very little warning, but I think I was quite flexible and good at collaborating so far. And we're still synergizing. We're figuring it out. It's only been a couple of missions,
Of course. And how was your last mission? I understand you came into possession of this curious little relic here. Yes, this gun. May I see that again, actually? Closer look.
Oh, of course. Vis takes it out and hands it to the mayor.
Jude is like, don't give me to him.
What?
I don't want to be held by that creature.
Oh my God.
Who sounds nothing like me.
God, please excuse my gun, sir. We just met. We're still figuring each other out here, and Vis looks down the barrel. Please be polite.
The mayor is like, do you mind if I just give it a little, leans forward with a finger, a little bony finger towards Jude. I'm just going to calm just a little bit.
No, of course.
And then Jude is yelling, he's not wearing a sash, he's not even wearing a shirt. Right as he's saying this, the mayor just kind of taps him with the tip of his bony finger, and Jude just completely goes silent, and no resistance, just drops limp in your hand.
Wow. How do I do that?
Years of practice. Could you? And he upturned palm. Now he's reaching for it. Now he's taking it. We can move this along.
Right.
He's kind of looking at Jude from every angle, looking down the barrel, kind of doing like a little flip around.
Oh, careful with that longer part. It's dangerous, that part.
Often, but not. Let me just... And he gives it another tap and...
Oh, God.
Make a perception and an arcana check.
Okay. We ain't rolling good today. Arcana's +3, so that's an 8 for Arcana. And Perception was a 4. -1, that's 3.
Okay, cool. He gets away with it. No, I'm just kidding. But you don't understand what's happening, but waves his hand over Jude, and it just kind of floats in midair. And as he waves his hand, there's like a brief moment where you can tell that you missed something. It's just a flash of something, like a flash of color somewhere, but you miss it. But before you can worry about that too much, Jude is just disassembled into more pieces than you would have believed possible for something with such a simple design. Hundreds of tiny...
Oh, God, what are you doing to him?
It's all right. They disassemble, but it's like one of those like exploded blueprints where you can see it's like they're all the pieces are just like sort of go like they're held at a certain distance apart, but they're still relative where they would be to each other. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like if you laid out like the guts of a person, they would stretch to the moon or whatever. I'm not a doctor. Yeah.
Let's find out.
Yeah. Let's stay tuned for this episode. He says, now are you seeing these? And he just kind of like waves his fingers around the pieces.
Vaguely, generally, yes. Sir?
I'm not talking about the pieces. You see what's at the center, yes?
No. Forgive me?
That's all right. May I? And he reaches one finger towards you this time. Give me your hand, Visk.
Visk does, but is like so nervous, sweating like a cool glass of lemonade on a summer day. Condensation sweat.
Oh, a goo creature sweating. Ugh.
Yeah,
it's like cheese when you lead it out.
Yeah, it ain't normal.
Yeah, I guess that nasty oily stank on it. But this time, you're looking directly into the mayor's face. So as that bony finger makes contact with the end of your dangly pseudopod, you see the briefest pinprick of red in each of those empty sockets. But you're distracted by, you suddenly see a web of bright blue strings that trail off in every direction, but all intersect at a single point. And at the center of those intersecting strings, you see an angry ball of green light frozen in midair.
And Vis thought the mayor couldn't look any more striking, but these glowing blue strings are just amplifying and complicating all the dreamy light that's just bouncing off and contouring his skull.
The mayor, he's now pointing, he's like, you see them now, yes? The strings and this?
Yes.
And he gives one of those strings just a light pluck, and it sounds like a low E string is being tuned. Like he just plucks it a couple times.
What is this?
These are soul strings, this. You bind a soul or a piece of one with enough of these, and you have yourself a soul catcher.
Huh.
Keeps a soul in place, keeps it from decaying, keeps it from going where it's supposed to go, which is, of course, and he gestures behind him to the Eversoul. It's an unkind thing to do to a piece of one's own soul, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, unnatural.
Yes. It was the necromechanist from the Midnight Special, yes?
Right, Bucksworth.
That sounds close enough. I don't care for...
I think that was it.
We could ask your friend here, but it's not important. This is that fellow's sense of justice, though.
Right.
That's what you've got here at the center.
It told me that, personally, oddly.
And it... What does it actually do when it does what it does?
So, here's the thing. I feel like this fellow somewhat lied on his resume, slightly exaggerated his skill set.
How's that?
I was told by this fellow here, Jude, that if I were to point them, it, at somebody who I believe deserved to perish, and I pulled this trigger, they would perish. They would die if I was choosing justly, if I truly believed it. I did that at a guy made of pickles. Gotta say, he did not die the first time, so I feel like there was a little bit of a padding of the resume happening there.
You're talking about the Pickle Man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. I don't think that was an entity capable of death.
Oh.
Yes. Creatures from the psychic waste.
Well, he should have brought that up then.
You can't expect a gun to know everything, Visk.
Why not?
Indeed. So, you fired away, pow, 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 no effect?
Well, just one pal, actually.
Gave up after that?
Well, there was only one of these, they called it a bullet in Jude.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
That's delightful. All right, okay. Well, I can...
He got me there, didn't he?
Yes. Well, here's what we're going to do. You're all picking up your nice little weapons, and it wouldn't be nice for you to have one that didn't work, would it? Hold on, let me just... And he reaches up above to one of the little parts and gives it like a little turn, and he's plucking that same string again, but this time it sounds like an A string. It's like, there. Can't do anything about the clip size, but I did reload it.
Oh.
Should happen naturally now whenever you head topside. If you just want any... Claps his hands, and all of the pieces just like snap back into place. Just exactly where they were. The strings vanish from your field of vision.
May I ask, what is the clip size?
Still one.
Oh.
Still one. Can't do anything about that.
Okay.
But that's good, isn't it?
I mean, it's better than nothing, certainly. Thank you, sir, so much.
He's handing Jude to you, handle first with the barrel pointed towards him. He's like holding it out to you.
This is going to so carefully take the gun back. Does not want to shoot the mayor.
Before he lets it go, as you try to pull it back while he's still holding on, he's like, "It's not a small thing to kill someone, Visk."
It seems a bit small when it's this easy.
Tell me, Visk, how do you feel about the work we do here?
The paperwork side, the skulltending side, or just the whole layout of things down here?
The work of shepherding the dead.
Oh, it's necessary and important.
Yes.
Doesn't matter to me how they get here.
That's what had me a bit concerned. Our relationship with our clientele is one of our greatest assets. We shouldn't squander it. Most of them, take for granted that they will come to see us eventually. And whether or not they dread it, they do arrive. Eventually. It's the outlying cases. The small picture. That's where we need you, but I try not to lose sight. We're here to help.
Right. Yes, of course.
Of course.
Vis does not understand, but is too nervous to ask follow-up questions.
He's like, it is a skull with empty eye sockets and not even a jawbone to give you a suggestion of expression. But he lets go of the gun. He says, And you're happy in your role? You want to continue?
So this is not something Visk has ever had to think about before, because it's been 99 years of just being at this job, and that's what you do in your life. So this is a very strange question. I've never thought to feel something about my role here. The skull tending sure is interesting. Definitely punctures the boredom of the routine of the paperwork side of things.
No, computers are boring. You're right to think so. I respect that about you, Visk. I would have thought you relished the tedium, but I'm glad to see that your trips topside haven't had no effect. Speaking of, there is a delicate situation in the land of the living that I've been keeping an eye on for a while, so to speak. Would you mind taking a look at it for me?
Anything.
All right, I will do with that. Okay.
Visk is shook that the mayor said, I respect that about you.
Yeah,
No one has ever said to Visk they respect anything about them.
Well, with
You sound like an anime protagonist when you said that.
yeah, like chapter 1.
Like
first,
Goku. Like straight up Goku. Anything.
All right, well, Planchette has collected Doodoo and Miss Fairweather. I believe they're waiting for you now in the green room.
Right. So did they also get a peer review?
No, Vis, they're not employees. They're freelancers.
Oh. So is there any plan going forward?
I'm counting on you to keep an eye on them.
So I am the manager.
Yes.
Okay, that wasn't entirely clear to me. Okay, good for the clarification.
Well, it might not have entirely been the case before.
It is now.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Scoot along.
I will do that. Bye. Thank you so much for talking to me.
And Vis, watch out for them, would you?
Watch out for them.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, all of them. The living and the dead. He just turns back to to watching the Eversoul and just gives you nothing.
Visk has no idea how to interpret that because it could mean watch out for them as take care of them, or watch out for them, they could betray you. So they're walking out of this meeting with no idea which one they meant.
Perfect. Textbook enigmatic. You make your way to the little tube and you just halfway down to the room. What is the name of your fucking gun? Jude. Christ. Jude wakes up. I sound so different from that guy. It's a completely different register. And he's like frustratingly clanging along in the tube until you're both spat out in the green room. This time you keep a hold of Jude, whose name I know. It's the green room, that classic room that is the staging area for Skulltender missions. The green glow of the river floating inches beneath the grated floor, like you know and love. As promised, Planchette, Felicity, and Doodoo are waiting for you here. Doodoo and Felicity, what are y'all up to?
Felicity.
What do you think of that one?
Wow, that was very nice.
Yeah.
You think you can get a little more volume on that one?
No. The dude says sad and looks down.
You're so close, though.
Yeah, it's hard when you can't breathe.
Yeah, that's true. Felicity runs her hand through the fur on top of her head and realizes that she still has a throwing dart stuck in her head from her time at the bar earlier tonight, and pulls it out and drops it to the side where it falls through the grate into the river.
Oh yeah, got to tell you about that.
Jesus.
They come and go.
Wow.
I had other things on my mind.
I guess all you had on your mind was a dart. Anyway, I'm just getting one in there. Visk, hey, you here?
Hi.
What's up, Bisky?
Oh, this.
Visk is having trouble staying constituted after the stress of that.
Oh, hard day. Long day.
Yeah, sure. Shit, I don't know how much of that information I actually retained.
Oh, someone's got the cheese sweats.
Yeah, you've been working hard at the pencil pushing factory.
Oh God, was I this sweaty the whole time?
Did you come from the gym or something?
I didn't know y'all could sweat. Gross.
You had muscles.
All right. Well, this is starting to feel cruel. All right, everybody.
Starting?
You should see the stuff that happens up there.
All right. Let's everybody get into your little spots. I'm gonna hold on. Let me listen. And she gives her little perch, a little peck, and a little readout pops up. All right. Next time we're sending you to. Oh boy. Okay, a little place on the edge of the Crypt Break Woods. Looks
The what?
Crypt Break Woods, like crypt and break. That's probably nothing to worry about. Probably nothing germane to your adventure. All right.
Does Visk know that word from any paperwork, that place from any paperwork or anything?
No, you've never seen that.
Okay.
Like, if there are people that are supposed to be coming from there, you have not encountered them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's real light population. Oh, we do have an owl this time for Doodoo. Good.
Hooray!
Yeah, not seeing a lot of ambient biomatter for Felicity. Sorry, honey, you're going to be mostly dirt this time.
I'll survive. It's fine.
Yeah, for a while.
My dirt cat.
Yeah, and let's see, water source for Visk. Oh boy. Okay. Well, Doodoo or Felicity, probably Doodoo. Whoever's up and about, help Visk out of the well. Okay. And with that, she grabs the tiny lever with her beak and pulls it. Doodoo, you feel that euphoric bliss as your soul is cast upward out of your body to join your spirit brother, an owl above.
There's nothing wrong with me.
Mm-hmm. Felicity, tiny hands made of chalk grab you and rip you apart inch by inch, ready to remake you in the land of the living. The trapdoor opens below you and drops you into the river below, and the splash is louder this time because you're carrying Jude. The barkless white thirst pine trees of the Crypt Break Woods drink in the pale light of a waxing gibbous moon. Moon nerds will know that's when the moon's about 3/4 full and getting bigger. Many bold journeyman biomancers often come to study the mysterious white trees unique to this forest, hoping to make a name for themselves. But the few that ever return to their masters have no explanations for how a single tree could survive for years without water, let alone an entire forest of them. Nothing else seems to grow in these woods. The ground is bare dirt, free of undergrowth, and the only life is the odd, wide-ranging predator looking for small prey, nowhere to be found amongst the endless rows of towering thirst pines, their roots running deep, their barkless white flesh hard as stone to the touch. Speaking of wide-ranging predators, a small spotted owl swoops down to perch on the roof of a small stone well at the foot of a shallow valley. A hollow, really, a couple of 100 feet from outside the eastern edge of the Crypt Break Woods. The owl stretches its wings, and as it does so, the wings elongate, and the feathers strengthen and separate into fingers. Human legs shooting out of the bottom of its body as Doodoo's soul is cast into the owl. The crowd goes wild. The audience is pointing at their podcast and laughing and cheering. It's Doodoo the owl.
Hey, everybody, it's me.
Yeah! Everybody goes to their app and they rate the podcast 5 stars and they sign up for the Patreon. Nearby, a chalk circle has formed on the ground and small chalk hands are reaching everywhere, busily pushing piles of dirt into the shape of a Catalan woman. The hands pause for an instant before each hand splits along the fingers into 5 smaller hands. The fingers of these hands are too small to see clearly in the dark, but they move busily around the body, bringing the familiar form of Felicity Fairweather into sharper focus. Doodoo, you hear a splash from the bottom of the well you're perched on.
Did I do that? I turned to make sure I didn't accidentally make pickles.
Doo-doo!
What? Who's that?
Visk, you are floating in deep water in what seems to you like a tall stone tower with no windows until you remember you were told it was a well. There's also a context clue of a bucket with something tied to the handle that leads you to conclude that you have not been misled, and this is definitely the bottom of a well.
I'm in a well!
Well, what?
Well, pull me up!
Oh, all right.
Help!
Is there a mechanism? Is there the classic well mechanism that I can pull this?
Oh my god, I'm so glad you asked. There is a crank on the side of the well.
What's he doing there?
He thinks that the Jews did 9/11. We didn't!
I push him aside so I can see the other things in the mechanism.
Yeah, he falls to the ground and turns to dirt, and vanishes. Was he there at all? But yes, there is a turning crank behind.
I turn that crank.
Visk is in the bucket, by the way.
Okay, you are in the bucket. From the inside of the bucket, as you are pulled up higher and higher towards the moonlight above, you realize that this bucket is tied to the mechanism by means of not chain or rope, but string. Like just string, like string you would use to fly a kite or wrap up a brown paper package. It is an odd choice for well rope.
Why is it made of string?
What?
Nothing. Thank you for helping.
What?
What about a ring? Felicity is finally making her way to her feet.
The bucket is up at the top. Yeah. Yeah.
What? You are made of dirt. Whoa.
Yeah, she's turning her pockets inside out and dirt is falling out of them. She's tilting her head to one side and hitting on it, and soil and worms are coming out of it.
My dirty kitty.
Actually, make a constitution check. Felicity.
But in a nice way.
Golly.
Ah, jeez. Just go back to cranking.
Oh no!
That's a nat 20.
Yeah. You for a second it feels like you're gonna throw up, but instead it's like you power through it, and now you feel like nothing could make you throw up. You gain 3 temporary hit points.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow, what a treat.
Yeah, you're getting better at this.
I'll channel that. We'll figure that. Can't puke? We'll test that later.
Speaking of puke, again, this is starting to feel mean, but you pull up a bucket of Visk.
Howdy.
Hello. Can you pick up the bucket and pull me out? I can't reach the sides.
I pick up the bucket.
Thank you.
What are you, the ring girl?
No, it's string.
String. Oh, it's string.
String.
There is a famous play about the string, which was a play that if you saw it, then 7 years later, you would be killed.
Unrelated.
Mm-hmm. It was 7 years, so like people forgot.
Yeah.
But then there was a string of murders that directly lined up. Actually, shit, this sounds like a great later episode. Hold on a second.
Cut all this.
The string. No, but there is a play called The String. It's a murder mystery. It's very famous.
I've not seen that one. I read it, but I haven't seen it.
I saw the movie.
Fuck off,
at the Penny Arcade.
Hey, there's no websites in this either. Jesus. Okay. At the Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
On Cartoon Network, you son of a bitch.
The cave with the shadows on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the shadow play earlier.
I'm walking out of the caves with the shadows on the wall being like, it's just woke bullshit.
So, what, do you guys know what we're doing here? I presume there's a necromancer afoot in this spooky land.
What's up with this place? What's with all these trees?
Look, it's going to be like all the other times. We're going to find a weird guy, and he's going to try to kill us, and then either one of us or them will die. Let's get to work.
Fingers crossed he's not vegetable-based.
Yeah, you know, that actually sounds great, Visk. I would love to not encounter any pickles at all on this mission.
Are pickles vegetables?
Maybe it's a fruit. I don't know.
Everybody make a perception check.
If pickles are a vegetable.
Well, I mean, it makes sense now that I say it out loud, but...
No, that would obviously be a nature check.
I got a 6.
Ooh.
19.
Oh, thank God.
Perception? Okay. -1, that's an 18.
Wow.
Well, 21 with my thing, so...
Oh, okay. Everybody but Felicity. You hear a very faint, atonal, like, clinking or tinkling. It's hard to describe, and you can only hear it for a second as the wind blows down off of the hill above you. Despite being so faint you can barely hear it, it is immediately unpleasant. But as you look around for the source of the sound, and up the incline out of the hollow, right before the tree line starts, the tree line, the thirst pines, you see it's hard to make out at this distance, but it's like an enormous white creature hunched over in the dark with its head bowed. Visk, for like half a second, you have deja vu to the mayor leaning over the edge of City Hall, but as you're moving closer up the hill, I decide, you realize it's actually a strange building. You see a 2-story building glowing the same pale white as the thirst pines from which it was plainly constructed. A dark wood door, a wide window at ground level, and a single round window high above the door all combine to give the front face of the building a cockeyed expression, as if surprised to have visitors so late. As you get closer, you see a strange sight of a much smaller structure, also pale white, hanging freely, 20 feet above the roof of the building. You guys are like moving up towards the building, right? I wasn't out of pocket on that.
No, that's fine.
That makes sense.
I heard the tinking.
Excellent. All the time you're climbing, the building is coming into sharper focus. But so is that strange, weird clinking that you can all hear now. And it's like if you have earplugs in, but you can hear enough of a conversation in the row behind you to know that you hate the people having it. Like it's like just like that feeling. Just like tone. It's like something's off. Dudu, you have the best dark vision, so you're the first to see that little white room floating in the air is actually being dangled on the hinge of a large metal hook attached to an elaborate block and tackle pulley system that is on the roof of the building.
There's a tackle system.
Oh, a block and tackle pulley system.
Mm-hmm.
Who would build such a thing out here, too?
As you all get close, you see a sign by the dark wood door, itself also carved of wood, that reads Spallanzani Amusements. Next to the front door at ground level, there's a wide, dirty window and a smaller circular window above the door, close to the edge of the roof.
Spaghetti Amusements.
Spallanzani Amusements.
Bagani.
Balan Wonderland. What?
Visk, you take 25 video game reference damage.
Good thing my HP is 1,000.
What a loss.
For that specific stat.
All right. God steps on you for 1 billion for that damage.
Damn. Wow, God does hate me.
He's back, and he's only here to stop you from making video game jokes. No, that's fair. It's the language we all speak. I'm sorry.
How do you spell this amusement's name?
Can you write it down for us?
Spallanzani.
You lost me at SP. Spa.
Spallanzani. Spallanzani.
When I tell you I wrote it with a B and an Enya in it, whatever the Spanish N is, the first time I heard it, woo.
There's no B in this. Dudu's got a little notebook.
If you had worse dark vision, then the P that is the second letter might look like a B, but you don't, so it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
What is this?
Get out here, Spallanzani. Dudu just slaps on the door.
Yeah, it is a heavy door, and it is made out of dark wood that is different from the wood around it.
Ooh. Folks, we got a heavy door here.
What's so amusing about this house?
Is the door open, or are we just admiring it?
I'm admiring it at this point.
He just slapped it.
I tried the I tried the handle.
Yeah, it's a large iron handle that doesn't give an inch.
Damn, this thing is locked.
Even feels like it's been deadbolted.
Is there a visible lock on it?
There is a hole in the door where trusty locksmiths tend to hide them. Locks, yes.
Felicity's going to try to put her hand towards picking this lock.
Okay.
What if we just knocked?
Nah.
Yeah, no one has tried that, but go straight for it. No, Felicity's doing. Are you doing this as a? How are you doing this?
She goes to pick the lock, and Vis says that, and she puts both her hands up like, "Okay, boss. Okay, go ahead, knock."
That's what I'd like to hear.
All right, Mr. Manager, let's see it.
I haven't said it yet, but I do like to hear that.
Knock away. Use that fancy gun of yours.
Oh, I could.
I imagine that if Visk knocked, it would not make much of a noise because his hands are too soft. It's make like a squish. Visk takes out Judicious and holds him backwards and knocks on the door with the handle, pistol whip style, I guess.
Because you are not aiming him at somebody that you righteously want to kill, he doesn't go off. Otherwise, this would be an insanely dangerous thing to do, but because he can't fire unless you're doing that, it's safe.
My finger's not on the trigger.
Right. That's... Okay. It's fine. Yeah, you hear knock, knock, knock as you rap on the door. No response.
Is Jude saying that?
Knock, 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 he says in unison with it actually knocking. Do you think this is what I was made for?
It's okay to have multiple
A door knocker?
It's okay to have multiple uses.
A humble rat-a-tap?
humble.
Felicity looks to Dudu and like shuffles awkwardly the way she has come to do whenever Visk gets into an argument with his gun, which is growing more and more frequent as time goes on.
Yeah.
You're really having problems with that gun, huh?
You know, he's argumentative.
Are y'all looking at the door?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I was looking at the gun.
I was looking at Dudu, but
You're all looking in that direction. You all see your shadows on the wall and the door in front of you as a bright blue light flashes behind you.
What the?
Just like for half a second. It's like lightning without the sound.
Vis turns around.
Yeah, Felicity wordlessly whips around.
Nothing there?
Who took our picture?
You hear the tinkling music.
Who's tingling?
It starts to get a little louder.
What's going on here?
I'm not in love with... I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not in love with the vibe here.
I say we pick the lock and get inside the spooky house.
Didn't think I'd miss the Wild West.
Felicity's going to try to pick the lock on the
Why
door.
not? It was so fun. There's pickles. Make a sleight of hand check.
It's 8 plus 7, 15.
You actually feel your claw snap off. It doesn't give. This is a really well-locked door.
Damn.
Ooh, you're right.
You okay?
She pulls her hand back, is like shaking it.
Yeah, he's a cat. They grow back. You know, they. It's not like somebody broke their finger off, but it's like it didn't feel great.
Still hurts on the quick, Mr. Narrator.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Like God says.
Buzz off.
Closing clouds, ducking down into their seat and putting a hat on. You got the feel like as you were tooling around in there, you could feel like a lot of tumblers. This is a good lock, and it is heavy. It is hard to move the pieces. Like there's a big key that goes to this.
Should we look for a big key?
Or an alternate route in.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. From what I felt in there, we probably have better luck just finding another way in. Unless we can find the key for that, and something makes me think that if somebody got a lock like this installed, they probably are not just leaving it around.
Next to a journal.
Hey, gang, I have an idea. Can we do a classic perception check looking around?
An investigation? You want to do an investigation?
Can we just damn look around for a bit?
Yeah.
Can we point and click for a while?
I'm so glad you asked. You can totally investigate.
You're a boon to the team, Dudu. That's a great idea. Looking around.
I'm investigating.
Everybody make an investigation. The thing that Dudu is very good at.
I have a -1 to investigation.
I have a 1 and I got a 3 total, so
9.
Okay, Visk, you're looking down the end of your own gun again.
You're looking into the barrel.
Dudu, you were trying to pull Felicity's broken claw back out of the lock to give to her.
Just so satisfying.
I got a 19.
Felicity, you look around, you guess that there is probably a back door, but if the front door is locked this well, they're not going to leave the back door any worse. You see the big wide window out front, and that thing looks heavy. That kind of thing is often openable, but with a lot of effort. It's a storefront window. What you also notice, though, about 2 stories up, exactly in the place where somebody might not install a heavy lock, is a small round window.
Felicity looks up to the window and places one of her hands onto the wall to see if there is a good enough grip that she could climb herself up there.
It's the...
Dude who's got his mouth on the hole, trying to suck out the claw.
Okay, as Visk is looking down their gun and Dudu is trying to suck your claw back out of the hole of the key, your claws find easy purchase in the thirst pine wood of which this building is constructed. You are easily able to move up at your climb speed, which means, in a less gamified sense, you can climb this wall like a normal person walks.
No, I almost got it.
She actually waits a couple seconds to let Duty finish trying. I think I might be able to get up there.
That's good, because I think I just swallowed it.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
It went down. That's fine.
Yeah.
Spicy. You got a spicy claw.
Actually, make a scrounge roll real quick.
there was licorice in that lock too.
Do I still have my licorice also? I forgot to ask.
Oh, the little friend?
Yeah.
The Lipperish? No, he stayed behind with Hazel.
Oh, shucks. All right. I need to erase that from my...
Oh. Down one Pokemon.
Scrounge.
The episode where Ash let Butterfree go free.
It's a beautiful episode.
Yeah, Casey hates Butterfree.
14.
Okay, for 14, you as you're sucking on it, a bug goes into your mouth. There was a bug living in there. It's delicious because you're an owl. Yeah, you gain 1 temporary hit point.
Got something else in there.
So if you get hit, you take that one first before you take your others.
It's a little snack.
I'm having fun with this as a mechanic, trying it out. Who will earn temporary hit points next? The audience is on the edge of their seat.
The audience will.
Yeah,
The audience gets temporary hit points before Visk.
yeah, 5,000, but you got to distribute it among yourselves. Don't talk to me. You climb the wall easily, and you find the window. It's actually much cleaner than the window near the ground, which is quite dirty, to the point that you weren't even able to see into the store. But now you can. If you open it, if it's unlocked, let's find out.
Well, you said I can see through it. What do I say?
You see a dark room.
Shit.
You might maybe see something that looks like... You actually make a perception check. Let's see. Or investigation. There it is. Investigation. Let's make another one. Oh, we're rolling like crazy today.
Not only are we rolling, we're rolling at all the things that she is good at. We have an 18.
Oh, yeah. So you are able to discern that this window does not have a locking mechanism. This is more like the window you would see on like not a building. Like it's like there's something almost like childlike about it. It just doesn't look very strong. It almost looks like a toy. It swings open easily at the lightest touch, and you see as the moon passes into the room, you can see a very thin circle of the room and near the ceiling, and you see a couple of silvery strands of something. But you can move it, like it's a wide enough window that you can get inside the room if you want to.
These silvery strands, are they just stuck up in the air, or are they extending to the ground where I would be? Are they like cobwebs above me, or?
They start above your field of what you can see, and they go below that. And even though you have dark vision, whatever this is not super easy to see in the dark.
And I take it they're not within my grasp before I enter.
No, they're about 10 feet away. Other side of the room. I should have made that clear.
All right, Felicity's going to open the window and enter the room,
Okay.
quietly scanning these strands for any signs that something might be moving on them. The only thing she can think of is it looks an awful lot like spider webs.
They sway lightly in the wind, especially once you open the window, and you hear like a light clacking or clattering or something down below, out of your field of view, in the dark.
Is it the same as the rancid vibe sound we heard earlier?
No, that was more like a tinkling and a plinking. This is more like a clacking and a crackling.
She's going to open the window up and begin to climb in. She's going to yell out the window to their compatriots, "I'm going to try to unlock the front door."
Okay, good luck.
Y'all from the ground see Felicity disappear into a window like that one episode of Muppet Babies that freaked out Casey when he was a kid. Just like a figure descending into a window high up on a building. What is it? Who knows?
Good callback.
Thank you to a different thing that no one's going to have any context
That
for.
only us know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you descend, and you find it is a door from the other side that is heavily deadbolted. It's still a dark room. You can look around a bit if you want, or you can unlock the door. I think you said you were going to unlock the door. It's easy to do that if you want to.
Oh yeah, she's going to unlock the door then.
Well done.
Thanks.
You know, sometimes things just work out. As the light pours in, can I get an idea of what we all see now?
Oh, you sure can. The three of you step into Spallanzani Amusements, entering a room that runs the length of the building long ways. As the door swings shut behind you, you no longer hear the strange tinkling music. To your left, there is an elaborate medieval-themed display featuring three beautifully painted wooden marionette puppets dangling midair on barely visible strings attached to wooden crossbars suspended from the high, dark ceiling. The crossbars sway lightly, giving the puppets the classic illusion of movement that delights children and rubes the world over. Directly in front of you, there's several shelves of cups with handles on the bottom. Each is attached to a small wooden ball by a length of string. And off to your right, in front of the dirty window, there's kind of hard to see from here, but it might be a wooden train set. After which the long room turns a corner to the left.
Cup and ball? That's my jam.
Yeah. Yeah, you know this, Dudu. The sign next to the shelves reads, Ball Cuppin'.
Oh, hell yes. I gotta get some ball cupping going.
Yeah, you remember the theme song even.
Mm-hmm. It goes like this.
No.
Oh, do you got it?
Oh, yeah. You remember the theme song. It goes...
Wow. Just like I remember. Just like Mom used to show me every day.
That's the mother that you definitely had in canon?
It's all canon.
Okay, sure.
And it's also canon that I pick one up.
All right, yeah, it's a ball on the end of a string attached to a wooden cup that has a little handle on it for easy grip.
I don't want it anymore. I drop it.
It clatters.
Just kidding. I want to use it.
Make a sleight of hand check to trick me.
That was a nat 12.
Just enough. I'm very credulous.
I start ball cupping.
All right. Yeah, because with that 12, you were able to semi-regularly get the ball in the cup. It becomes increasingly easy.
Just like riding a ball cup.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the many amusements to be expected. That's amusing to you.
Oh, hell yeah. You got to give this a try, Visky.
It's nothing compared to this train over here.
Yeah, fucking the
And
train.
Visk, knowing that they've been diagnosed as a train liker in episode 1 against their will, goes toward the train.
Yeah, if you tried to walk past it, I was gonna have you make a wisdom saving throw with a 30 DC. You just cannot help it. Yeah, this is a wooden train on a track that loops around in a gentle spiral. The train is black with rhyme shell painted on the side in red. It has a marionette's crossbar attached to it. Apparently, you play with this thing by pulling the train along the track like a puppet.
Huh. That is amusing.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of puppets, there's a third thing in this room that I may have mentioned. It is an elaborate medieval-themed display featuring 3 beautifully painted wooden marionette puppets. Would anyone like to take a closer look? I say, taking a gun out of my desk and putting it on the table.
Felicity has already approached it and is walking
There's a second gun.
A lazy oval around it, trying to take it all in.
That's God's gun. Yeah. So,
Yo, I'm busy over here. Don't at me. I'm cupping.
Yeah, you're cupping, but Felicity, you see 3 beautifully painted wooden marionette puppets. The smallest puppet is an armored knight with a ball for a body, holding a simple sword and shield. Due to it's about as long as one of your feathers, I know this is falling on deaf ears. You're all about the cup and ball. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
There is a shelf filled with small wooden boxes on the wall behind this little armored knight puppet, all labeled The Marionette Knight, with a little sign on the wall that reads, He rolls like a ball! Great for beginner puppeteers. Next to the Marionette in the display, there's a slightly larger and more complicated puppet with more points of articulation. It's about the length of your shin bone, Felicity. It's dressed in robes and a pointed hat, although these are just painted on, with one hand raised up by the string it's attached to as if it's casting a spell. There's another shelf above the Marionette box shelf with 3 of this guy sitting on it unboxed, and there's a small sign that says, Got magic in your fingers? Stringbeard the Wise is an intermediate level marionette. The display Stringbeard and Marionette in the display are posed together facing an elaborate wooden black dragon with wings spread wide and claws outstretched. It has eyes of red glass, bright white teeth, and like fucking 30 strings attached to it, leading up to a very complicated looking crossbar that has a bunch of other doohickeys on it. Sign on the wall reads, Screw Eyes the Dragon is made to order only, requires a class 3 marionettist license.
Felicity gently plucks a couple of the strings on the dragon, just to see if it moves.
Yeah, it does, because it's It's a marionette puppet, and you're pulling its strings. It like the one that you pluck. One of them makes one of the eyes open wider, which seems like a level of control over this puppet that would drive someone insane.
Doo-doo comes up behind Felicity. Yo, what's with the puppies? That's what I call puppets.
I'm trying to figure that out. She turns around and sees Doo-doo. Oh, ball in the cup.
Oh, yeah. They got a whole bunch over
Wow.
here. Check us out. And Doo-doo does one real quick. And he...
All right.
What would that be?
I feel like this has just got to be sleight of hand, right? Like,
Better performance.
Performance.
oh yeah, performance, sure. Oh yeah, because you're showing off. Yeah, due to its performance. 18.
Damn.
It lands directly in the cup, and the string gets it falls down to the center of the cup, and the string gets pulled taut, and a tiny little knife comes out and cuts the string, and says, "You win. Buy a replacement."
Wow.
I like pose like, what? Can you believe this? Wow. And I just drop it and go get another one.
Yeah,
I do
there's
exactly what it says.
several more. Well, almost. This guy, assume you were over there just having train time.
What? Yes.
Oh, yeah. What's this doing?
This looks up from the train, not hearing that at all.
Even though that was like an 18 performance, Visk was not looking at it, so has no idea that was really cool.
Yeah, you're having your nice train time.
Yeah.
You're just, have you picked up the marionette, the crossbar?
I'm getting over some train-related trauma. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
It's rhyme shell train, so it's very reminiscent of a recent trauma,
Yeah.
and it's fine.
And as the train moves along the tracks, something going on between the train and the tracks is making a nice little plinking sound. So it goes like ding, ding, ding. Makes it like a little gentle
Oh,
"the train is moving" song as you go. Like very simple.
the rhyme shell train's back, and it's better than ever.
Yeah. It's just like that.
For some canonical holiday this year, the rhyme shell train is here.
God, what's a good holiday? Knife Weekend. You remember Knife Weekend?
Wow,
Yeah.
that one's cool.
Just gotta fucking write that down now. That's canon. Knife Weekend.
It's not a band anymore.
It's not just a band anymore.
They made the holiday after the band.
Now check this out. Oh, that was a critical failure.
The ball snaps off of the string and flies across the room directly at Visk, as critical failures team said to do. Visk,
Even though one of these characters is way closer to...
Visk, make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage because you're paying attention to the train.
It was a critical fail.
What's with all the bullying today from the Lord himself?
Well, we'll see.
Real sorry.
So that was an 8,
Okay.
and that was a 15, so it's going to be the 8.
Yeah, the ball lands directly in front of the train on the track and causes it to tip over.
No!
Starling.
I'm real sorry.
Doo-doo, what the fuck?
I just...
It's derailed.
That's what happens with cup and ball. It gets away from you sometimes.
Oh, this is the part that was so traumatizing, the derailment.
No, we can re-rail.
It's okay.
We can re-rail.
A tiny construction paper fire emerges from the train.
No!
Oh gosh.
And a tiny widow and child emerge from the ground next to a gravestone that reads "The Conductor."
Look what you did, Doo-doo!
Where are these coming from?
This is really quite elaborate.
It's very amusing!
As advertised.
I'm very amused, Dudu says sadly.
So Felicity places a comforting hand on Visk's back.
Oh. Psst, Cohen.
What, Jess? What?
Cohen.
We're in the middle of We're in the middle of a movie. I'm
No,
watching
I-
Godzilla -1, and I'm crying.
Yeah, it's really emotional.
That sounded irreverent. I actually am crying. This movie's beautiful. Choose life.
How can you say that you're paying attention to the movie when your phone is out? What are you looking at?
Oh, I'm just logged on to patreon.com/skulltenders.
Patreon.com/skulltenders?
Nope, that's... Okay, look, hold on. God, people are glaring. Yes, patreon.com/skulltenders.
Oh, Skulltenders. Okay.
Yeah, just like the extremely good podcast that we make that people are listening to right now across the world.
Yeah, we're like #1 in Norway for some reason. Hello, Norway.
Yeah, and briefly in Ireland. Hopefully still. I love you guys. Anyway, yeah, you can get... It's such a good Patreon. You can get all kinds of behind-the-scenes fun stuff, like art posts and sketches from Casey Green, who's such a good artist. And
Casey Green is drawing us stuff? What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. And also there's... You know how I'm the DM of this podcast that we're pretending that we're not on?
Oh, yeah.
For the purposes of the sketch?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can get my notes and cool drawings as well, if that's what you're into.
Oh, that's really behind the scenes. It's like an IMDb page, like for movies,
Yeah,
but for...
kind of.
Yeah.
Or like a commentary, like a creator commentary, like that. Like a lot like that, but like in text.
I see.
With like pencil drawings. And you get to join the Discord, which is wonderful. And it's a delightful balm in these cold, withering times where all around seems so bleak and dark. There's a flickering candle of community in this beautiful little Discord we've got. You should come check it out.
Starting to get hopping too in there.
Yeah, just like it is in this movie, Godzilla -1, a beautiful treatise on... we're recording this in January. I don't actually know when this episode goes out. No, wait, it goes out shit. This is the last thing. Oh, man. You know what? I wouldn't have fucked this up if I were on the Obsidian and Bone tier, where I get to listen to Skull Talkers.
I've only seen the Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie. Is this in the same universe as that?
I am going to maintain this scene, but I'm going to poison your character.
Okay.
I'm putting poison in your drink here for that. It's okay. No, don't drink it yet. I need to tell you that we also have other audio goodies and skits and movie commentaries, and we've got deleted scenes at higher tiers and even level ups that you can listen to us for the true crunch freaks who want to know all the behind the scenes numbers and stuff.
The IMDb freaks and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and we got crazy, mostly a joke tiers above that, but like we got other stuff that's really good.
Yeah.
And it's only a joke unless you pay us, and then it's deadly serious.
It's so real once that happens. We're gonna have to do all sorts of things we promised.
Oh yeah, oh no, the usher is dragging me away for talking during the movie.
You deserve it. Goodbye, friend.
Yeah, make sure to drink deep of your own drink.
Okay.
It's so good for you.
Here I go.
From hell's black heart, I stab at thee. Patreon.com/Skulltenders.
Felicity, because you are not giga distracted by the train, you do see the rest of this room that continues around this corner, which is at the other end of this room, kind of a hallway, but it's the entrance, so it's weird. The other end of this room, you see an unattended counter and cash register with a door at the end of the wall to the left. Between that and you, however, you see 4 small wooden pillars, each about waist height, and resting on the center of each is a small metal box with a tiny crank and a little sign that reads Pocket Orchestras.
Oh.
Huh.
Ooh.
What do we have here?
iPads. Doo-doo get iPad.
Are there eyes on this?
She's going to approach the first one, and is there some sort of mechanism on it?
Yeah, it's got a little crank.
Just the crank? All right, well,
Yeah.
she's going to wind up the crank and see if it starts.
Yeah. It's pretty light.
It's a real crank of an adventure.
You're able to actually pick it up and just crank it if you want to. It's just it's like a small metal box about half the size of a deck of cards with a little crank on it. And as you turn it, you hear the faint tinkling of it is out of tune, but it's the Ball Cuppin' theme song. Ball Cuppin', put a ball in a cup. Ball.
I recognize that from anywhere. That's the Ball Cuppin' theme.
Ball Cup. And then there is a sudden slam, and the door next to the register at the end of the hall is blown backwards off its hinges and crashes into the opposite wall. You all get a brief glimpse of something big and round poking through the door from the other side, but it can't fit through, and it backs out of sight. You hear the sound of it rolling away, faintly, fainter.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, Felicity looks to the other two.
What the fuck was that?
You know as well as I do.
Well, I'm going to keep cranking.
I don't know if we should.
You hear the rolling coming back, getting louder and louder,
Stop
and
cranking.
something crashes through the wall right next to you.
Ah!
Everybody make a dexterity saving throw to avoid being hit by a life-sized marionite exploding through the wall.
14.
9.
Ooh.
17.
Okay, so Felicity and Visk, you dodge to the side. Doo-Doo, still turning the little ball cupping thing that you, I guess, took from Felicity, are so captivated that this knight rolling straight towards you knocks you backward and you shatter the window behind you and are knocked outside. Take 8 window damage as you are defenestrated.
Oh, Doo-Doo.
I'm okay. No, actually, no, I'm not. I took a lot of damage.
It's a big window.
Everybody roll for initiative, baby.
13.
9 total.
Visk.
Everyone shut up. I got an unnatural 19.
Oh, nice.
Nice. An arcane 20.
All right, and now we just got to see how the big ball did. Okay. This is really appropriate because Doo-Doo's going to go last, which makes sense because you were knocked through a window. All right. Visk.
I got defecated.
Now, to set the scene, you and Felicity dodged to either side as the great form of the marionite came rolling straight towards you. A distracted Doo-Doo was crashed into and knocked through a window. The marionite is kind of like jammed in the window a little bit, but is like it's wrenching its head and limbs away from the center body. Visk, it is your turn.
All right.
What do you do?
In the hopes that they will not be able to gain much purchase enough to roll anymore, Visk is going to cast Grease.
Oh, very good. Oh boy. I'm so sorry. Make an intelligence throw to try to not put the grease on the train set.
Damn it.
So he fell out the window near that train set. Okay.
And actually, now that the window is broken, that dirty window is broken, you are seeing like a lot more light in this room, and you were able to get like you can see even more of the train set, and it is absolutely beautiful.
I rolled a 7.
Perfect. Okay, he does that. So with the problem is, yes, with that low intelligence roll, you are going to spray grease in front of the entire area in front of the window, which is going to. It's in slow motion and hitting that train set just like it's like the beaches of Normandy, just those bullets hitting the bodies. But fortunately for you, the marionite also rolled badly and is now just like spinning the ball in a wheel. Like the head and the arms fall over to the side, but then just get yanked straight back up. But the ball just spins in a wheel. It is not able to get any purchase on the ground. You have succeeded in doing that.
Oh, the train.
Yes. And actually, as it falls, it sends like its wooden sword crashing right through the train set, putting it out of its misery.
God, everything keeps getting worse.
Felicity, it's your turn. There is a tiny no.
I've learned a valuable lesson today about vulnerability and how to never have it.
Felicity, you are standing next to a distraught Visk and a spinning grease wheel that is getting grease all over your boots as it kicks it forward, spraying everywhere.
Having just a moment now where we're not being actively aggressed upon, Felicity's checking, is there any marionette cords moving this around, strings?
Oh, there's strings, yeah. It's got strings. You can see them clearly in the moonlight.
All right. Felicity extends her hand and says, Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet.
As the sword appears in her hand, she's going to attempt to cut those strings.
Yes, let's go. Let's cut the strings. She says, saying her catchphrase for this episode. Try to cut them strings. Which ones?
When you said that the sword crashed down and destroyed the train, do you mean that the sword left its hand, or that the hand came down and crashed it and it's still holding the sword?
That was it falling prone. The hand and the sword, now that you're looking at it, definitely seem to be like one solid object. This is a big version of the child's toy, the starter puppet. So it is simple. The strings do lead up to a crossbar in the ceiling.
She's going to start with trying to take out the one that is supporting the sword hand.
Okay, that is the one that crashed through the table, so that one is the lowest.
All right.
Make a swing.
7.
7?
7.
Not enough.
Not my finest work.
Something reads your intent, perhaps, or it has a lot of time to think as it's just spraying grease. And as you swing the sword down, that arm is pulled up and the sword blocks Ricochet sinks into the wooden meat of the sword a little bit. It's maybe a little stuck. It's like trying to pull Ricochet away from you now.
Okay.
And it is now the Marionite's turn. It is going to try to swing. Actually, it's going to take that other shield and try to just bash you with it to knock you away from the sword.
Isn't it prone? Or no, it succeeded on that. Never mind.
She's also within range, so you can make it attack.
All right.
Will an 18 hit?
Sure will.
You take 8 bludgeoning damage as
Wow.
a big wooden shield crashes into you very hard. As you're looking for it, though, right before it makes contact, you do see like the strings move and then the arm moves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you see the crossbar dancing in the air above as you take that damage and you are knocked backwards and slam against the wall behind you.
Oh,
Doo-doo, you're outside on the ground,
Ouch.
lying prone. You were knocked through a window that became a broken window.
I was definitely thrown through a window.
You got the bums rush,
I got the bum rush. Sheesh.
which is that's the bums rush in this. That's the bums rush in our world.
Yeah.
It's through the window. That's what we do to bums here.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty classic bums rush. I gotta admit. I have a question now. Is Kenneth green?
Ask away.
Are the hand that holds the sword and the shield, because it has a sword and a shield, right?
Shield in one, sword in the other.
And so are the arms also wood, or are they like the string?
Everything is wood, and it is controlled by the strings. The arms have more points of articulation. It's like
It literally is a marionette.
yeah, it is
Okay.
actually a big marionette on the strings, and it's like a training wheels puppet because you only have to control the arms, and the ball just rolls.
Okay. Just wanted to double
No,
check
it's
on
a good.
that.
It's a good question. Ball body, arms and legs, head.
Wood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I am outside.
Yes,
Is he away from the window?
right on the other side. Or is the ball? The ball is actually stuck on that side of the window, but a few feet to your left, there is an unlocked door.
Doodle looks back and forth.
There's the broken glass that leads to a grease pile
Yeah.
and a violent wrecking ball,
Yeah.
or an unlocked door. But I don't want to tell you what to do.
He did just piss me off. So I'm gonna have to do. Get out of the way! I shout as well, I'm gonna just fucking drop kick that fucking. He pissed me off, and I'm gonna drop kick his ass best I can.
Okay.
Back through the window.
Okay. He's still inside.
Yeah.
You're outside. Yeah. Okay.
But I've got a clear view of his ass,
Yeah, you do.
and it looks like it needs a kicking.
Go for it.
That was a 2.
Okay. You swing your foot and you don't clear the window and you kick the side of the building,
Ah!
taking 1 damage to your foot,
Damn it.
which is not reflected in your health. But just know that you have taken 1 damage to your foot.
Ow!
Your human foot, your unshod human foot,
ooh, unshod.
which has a different set of hit points, I guess.
Well, then can I go ahead and expend a key point to just poke him with conch?
Yeah, you can go ahead and you can hit him.
All right. I expend 1 of my key points. I get 2 because I'm level 2. And bring out my trusty Goku extending Dragon Ball stick, conch.
Yeah, he's like a staff he's a wooden staff that can be a little snake friend sometimes, and often hangs out as a wooden torque around your neck.
But right now, he's a bow staff, and I'm just gonna fucking pull cue him.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna just poke him. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Make 2 attacks. Yeah, you got to roll. I'm sorry.
Okay. That one was a 16.
Okay.
Plus, then that's a fucking 20. Unnatural.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay.
And you go ahead and roll the other one so we can see if it hits twice.
Oh, okay. 8.
Roll the damage on the first one, just so I know.
It's 1d8 plus 3. 4.
Yeah. So that you line up conch between. You can kind of get your hand on a part of the window that doesn't have a lot of broken glass. You line up conch between 2 of your feather fingers, and you just bop this guy the perfect amount to pop him out of that grease and send him sliding back towards the cash register. It breaks and shatters those four little wooden pillars that had the pocket orchestras on them. Fortunately, I believe 2 of them were picked up. You go to poke him again, but he is at the other side of the room, so that one misses.
Well, I got him one time at least.
Oh, actually, you can move too. You have movement.
Actually, maybe I'll just stay just near the window, but outside. No, I'll come in. I come in and watch out for the grease.
Okay, you walk in through the door politely. You're able to.
No, I'm going through the window.
Oh, through the window! Excellent. Okay, that's going to be an acrobatics roll.
I'm crumbling through the window. How's it going, everyone?
Not great.
Yeah, I'm not rolling so hot either. Although that's a 10.
Yeah, you were able to clear the window without putting your hand into more broken glass, but you do step right into the grease and fall down prone.
No.
So you'll need to stand back up next turn. But Visk, it's your turn again. Make an Arcana check.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. That's a 19 plus 3.
Oh, then you see them.
Them?
As the Marionite is knocked backwards, skittering across the room in the grease, you see the strings caught in the moonlight, but because you're looking for them, and maybe because of that little extra something you got from the mayor back on the roof, still working through that memory, you see 2 pale white hands gripping the crossbars high above the marionette, holding it like near the ceiling where it's hard to see. It's why you haven't seen them before now, but when you're looking for them, you see semi-translucent. Those are fucking ghost hands. Disembodied ghost hands holding the crossbar, dragging the marionette around. It's your turn. Visk, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna shout to the crew. There's ghost hands up there. Do you see them?
Yeah, everybody make a perception check now that it's been pointed out. With advantage, because it's been pointed out.
19.
16.
Yeah. You all see the hands. And you've seen enough ghosts now to know those are ghost hands, baby. They just kind of go up to the wrist and end, holding the crossbars as it is like wheeling the marionite around. Visk, it is still your turn.
Ooh, spooky.
Ooh. What's good for this? Visk is going to use acid bubble because I believe they're within 60 feet of me.
Yep.
How tall is the ceiling here?
2 stories, 20 feet.
Okay.
I didn't know that's what a story was. Interesting.
Yep, 10 feet.
But yes, I can only hit one of them, though, unfortunately.
Why is that?
Or choose 2 creatures you see within range that are within 5 feet of each other. Are they that close to each other?
Yeah, they don't move. They are staying hand distance apart. Like at maximum, they seem to be getting about 6 feet apart.
Yeah, I didn't know how attached they are. Because they're
No.
unbodied hands. They can be far apart if they want to be.
Oh, absolutely.
But since they're within 5 feet of each other, Visk is going to do an acid bubble that's going to hopefully hit both of them. The target needs to succeed on a dex saving throw or take 1d6 acid damage.
Okay. So the hands are more dexterous than the puppet. Mm-hmm. The hands roll very well, but they get away from the acid by dropping the crossbar and just fucking booking it backwards to duck behind the desk, and the acid just melts right through the crossbar and the strings, and it actually splashes down onto the marionite, and you see the paint is peeling away, and there is just that same white wood that you've seen this building carved out of, everything except the doors. It's the same white wood as all the rest under the paint. But the hands have ducked behind the register.
That's for the train.
It's reasonable.
Vengeance.
Felicity, it's your turn.
Train vengeance.
Felicity's vision begins to unblur, and she begins to pull herself back to a certain level of composure, feeling a warm, wet spot in the back of her head where she collided with the wall. She can take a moment to make stock of herself. Do I have Ricochet, or is it still in the sword?
You don't have it right now. It is stuck in the sword.
She extends her hand and summons Ricochet to it again.
How do you do that?
Ricochet!
That's right. You hear a chunk as it pulls itself, as it is gone from the wooden sword and just appears back in your hand, unmarred. Not a splinter on it.
how high up are these hands?
The hands have now ducked behind the counter at the other end of the room, so they are not high at all.
Ooh. Felicity's going to move into position to try to take a swipe at them.
They float up from behind the desk and shaped like a T. It's alternating between making a T and then holding up palms raised.
Like time out?
I think it's trying to say wants to chill. Hold on.
It does that. It does the palms raised. It does hands like extended, like put me in handcuffs. Just like
what the?
It makes a heart. It's like trying to communicate a lot of different non-violent gestures, is what you perceive. Visk maybe not, but the other two of you easily perceive this.
Get a load of this coward.
I mean, Felicity's going to continue to approach it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with the hand. I hurt my butt when I fell.
As Felicity is approaching the hand, she takes a swipe at the, just laying on the ground, strings of the marionette to prevent it from being picked up again.
Sorry, did you say the marionette?
I said the marionette, but marionette is a marionette. But marionette.
I just want to be clear that its name is the Marionite.
We know.
It's a portmanteau
Yes,
of Marionette and Knight.
We know, we just don't care.
Oh my
I've
God.
been walking around with that for a month.
Yeah, well, keep it in there.
You've been walking around with the marionette for a month?
The Marionite, yes. Anyway, I've been very pleased with myself. Yeah, it's the gestures. It gives you a big thumbs up and an okay, and then swaps back and forth. And then it holds up one finger, like wait a second, and then dips the other hand back under the desk.
No, hands on the desk. What are you doing?
It pulls out just a wooden box and just pushes it to the edge of the table and puts both hands and raises them both, lays them flat on the table, and just like it extends a hand towards the box, and it's just like it's giving you the okay thumbs up.
Wait, are we arresting Hands? Mr. Hands?
Motherfucker.
The audience is clapping and cheering.
Thanks, everyone. I'm Doodoo. That's me. I'll see you later. Doodoo walks out.
While you're all distracted, it pushes the box off the desk, and it falls and breaks open, and a bunch of little wooden blocks with different letters painted on them scatter across the ground. And it points at itself, and it points at the box, and it's like looks at you and gives you like the okay thumbs up, like.
So, time for questions then.
Yes,
So you can dish, but you can't take. Is the gist of you?
I give it a nod to say that yes, you may go ahead and touch the blocks.
Okay, it begins rapidly arranging the blocks to spell out, who are you?
Well,
Me?
we are Skulltenders. Come to solve some sort of necromantic problem.
My name's Doodoo.
We are Skulltenders come to solve some sort of necromantic problem. It spells out, oh, and then it spells out, that's fair.
Good, I'm glad we see eye to eye on this.
Hand to hand, more like.
Back at you, who are you?
It spells out Spallanzani, and it takes it a second, and for the third A, it has to use an upside down V.
Hey, that was the thing in the front.
Oh.
That's this guy's amusement.
Points, gives a thumbs up.
These are your amusements.
Love that cup and ball, dude.
Gives 2 okays.
Where's your head?
Where's your everything?
Yeah.
Besides the hands, of course.
It moves them around again. It says, long story for blocks.
We have time.
He's got a character limit.
Yeah, go ahead. Make a thread.
Part 1 of 28.
It kind of like taps 2 fingers together like it's thinking, and then says, it raises them both, and it points into the like wall that it crashed through with the Marionite. It says, can only move what I made. Follow, and then it tries to make a C into a question mark, but it doesn't quite land, so it looks like follow.
So if we give it a pen and paper, we wouldn't be able to have this be any easier.
It gives you a thumbs up.
Unless you have, dabbled in making such things.
It says, nope.
Right.
Let's follow it.
I'm not following it anywhere yet. Why did you attack us?
Oh, okay.
It points to you, it spells out, This is my home. You broke in. You beat on the door, then broke in.
Oh, that's fair.
Good point.
Yeah. All right.
Smells out. I was coming to answer. Then you came through window.
Guess we are a little impatient sometimes.
Yeah. Felicity looks a little like embarrassed, like she made a social faux pas.
It's something we need to work on, I think.
We've been through a lot, and a lot of doors do need to be kind of dealt with quickly in our line of work. I hope you understand. Sorry, we did trespass, didn't we?
It spells out, we all make some mistakes. And then it removes the S from makes.
Well, you seem friendly enough.
This thing is really endearing.
Yeah, let's follow Kit.
Is there any problems we can take care of here for you?
It gives 2 big thumbs up to that, and then the 2 hands link together at the thumbs and form a flapping bird that leads you through the broken wall into the workshop.
Oh, how whimsical.
Yes. Well, he's a toy maker.
Yeah, bird joke.
So,
I like those. No, I like those.
He gives, like, there's no face there, but he mimes the gesture of wiping sweat off its brow, like, phew.
It does like a tugging at the collar motion.
Yeah, it's doing both of those, but they kind of just look like it's jerking off without the context of it.
I don't like them that much, buddy.
It flutters its hands and then turns back into a bird and then flaps off. If you follow it, you step through a hole in the wall into Spallanzani's workshop. One of the hands holds up a just-a-minute finger, and then both of them flap over to a pile of boxes, rummaging for something while you take in the dark room. The first things you notice are a huge crank on the wall to your left and an enormous ball of string in the opposite corner, which is even bigger than the marionette.
I nudge both Visk and Felicity, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to let you. I was letting you swing.
And point to the crank and go, crank. We've been cranking all day.
Yeah, it's thematic. There's also a pile of pale white thirst pine logs cut to blank size near it. That one's for the woodworkers. And the walls of the room are lined with different workstations, each devoted to the various stages of taking a toy from a raw wood to painted puppet. From the dusty works in progress left at each station, you can tell which table was for the initial carving, which for detailed carving, one for stringing, another for painting, and so on. There are also crates scattered around of the materials that would need to be ordered separately, music box springs, paints, tiny paintbrushes. There also seem to be materials that look like they'd be used for detailed sewing work, although you don't see a station for that in this room. As you're all looking around, you feel a tap on your shoulder, Felicity, and you turn to see that the hands have dragged a small puppet theater into the center of the room, and they beckon you over where they have set up 3 folding chairs made of white wood, and they slip between the lowered curtains.
Felicity, a little apprehensive. Felicity takes a seat. There's something about it.
Fair.
This is a very strange situation, but...
Better than fighting.
Yeah, precisely.
Visk is not going to sit in one of the chairs, but is going to stand behind them, skeptically.
That's fine.
Also going to whisper to whoever's closest, like, do you want ghost armor? I'm kind of still not into this.
Felicity nods.
Right.
Doo-doo shakes.
Visk casts ghost armor on Felicity and does not know what reaction Doo-doo is doing.
Doo-doo chills on the 2 chairs that are remaining.
It's like there's nobody in the seat on a plane.
Yeah.
I was going to say, are you like lounging across them, or is it like one butt cheek per chair?
I'm probably big enough I could do one butt cheek, but I'm trying to lounge a bit. It's a little uncomfortable, but I'm doing my best.
Make an athletics check to see how well you lounge. That's your thing you're good at.
Oh, it's an unnatural 20.
Damn.
You look like a fucking king in an anime.
Don't at me, I'm
just
chilling.
Like chilling on your throne, Tetsuo style, or whoever. Just like impudent magnificence is what you are projecting to this dark toy workshop.
And then he goes, leave me alone. It's a picture of me chilling. Don't at me. Akira.
Visk thinks you look so comfortable, they don't even offer ghost armor to you. You look fine.
I'm good. Start the movie.
Y'all are chattering. A little hand comes out and does like a little one hand, and then a little like just a second. And then the curtain rises, revealing a painted backdrop of a graveyard and a thin wooden placard with wooden letters affixed to it reading, "Once there was a wicked necromancer."
Oh.
Yeah, you see a puppet who looks like it was made on the Stringbeard model, sans beard, with black robes and hood up. It's got the hood up covering its face. It's cavorting around like an asshole. It's raising its hands, and a row of skeleton puppets all strung together pop up, and the necromancer puppet raises its hands to its mouth, laughing as the skeletons dance around and terrorize other puppets who appear.
I love those guys, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
The skeletons they're dragging the people up to the necromancer, he touches each one with his hand, and each time they fall away, and then another skeleton rises up from the bottom to appear to join the dance, and it's just having a fucking blast. And then another placard is raised that reads, "One day the necromancer met a mighty warrior, and a puppet in armor appears and slashes through the strings of the skeletons with a mighty sword, dropping them down on the front, like in the front of the theater at your feet. You will get wet." The necromancer raises more skeletons, and they crash into each other, and it knocks aside the necromancer's hood to reveal, what's that? The face of a handsome man. And the warrior's helmet is cast aside to reveal a woman with long white hair made of puppet strings. The man and the woman puppets circle around each other, but differently now, considering closer and closer. And eventually their strings become tangled and they drop out of sight, and a wooden placard comes up that says, "People are complicated." The puppets pop back up, only now they've removed their robes and armor to reveal toy maker bodies. The man's hands are full of carving tools. The woman's holding a little paintbrush and palette. There's also a third puppet, a small girl with bright blue eyes. And a placard comes up that reads, "Nokia, our miracle."
They fucked. Guys, I think they fucked.
You know what that is?
Nokia.
I've read about it.
The puppets look at you and nod, except the daughter, who doesn't know what that is. But the other two nod. The wife nods very vigorously.
Visk has picked up one of the strewn away skeleton puppets and has like tucked it away somewhere.
Excellent. It is in your goo.
Feels weirdly good.
Yeah. Oh, God. Another placard pops up that reads, "I renounced my art. We built a home among strange trees." And the backdrop changes to a white forest and a small cabin. And another placard pops up that reads, "Strange trees, but good for toys." And tinier versions of the puppets you've already seen, Stringbeard and Screweyes and the Marionite, appear and dance around, delighting the little Nokia puppet. The family dances around for a bit. They're having a blast, all the little puppets, but then the warrior woman puppet slows and lies down on a small bed, and Nokia and the puppet perch by the puppet, their little puppet hands in their face in worry, as a line of puppets dressed as doctors and biomancers appear, each shrugging their shoulders and leaving, just like a line of them going. The curtains lower and raise, and the doctors and the wife are gone.
Oh my.
The father puppet tries to pick up Nokia, tries to talk to her, dance, anything, but she's just completely unresponsive. And finally he takes out a tiny puppet and dangles it in front of her, and she lights up. And the three dance around, Nokia, her father, and the little knight. And they dance and they have fun, and they're obviously clearly delighted. But suddenly Nokia stops, just like the mother did, and moves to the bed to lay down, and the curtain lowers. And a placard comes up that says, "Could not lose her too." And another one pops up that says, "Went back to old tricks." And the curtain rises. The puppet, still with its puppet maker hands, is wearing the necromancer robe again, working at a tiny music box station. Placard pops up that says, "Needed to buy time, let her body heal. Had to keep her soul here. Gentlest magic I know. Locked it in a song." And as the father puppet presents a tiny music box to the daughter, you can hear a real music box turning inside the puppet theater, playing a beautiful song. The Nokia puppet sits up in bed and stands stock still, frozen in place, a look of peace on the little blue-eyed face, when suddenly the music box goes out of tune. And the Nokia puppet begins shaking on its strings violently. I'm going to need to make everybody to make a dexterity saving throw. to avoid getting hit by shrapnel as this puppet explodes.
19.
14.
Also 19.
Okay. Doo-doo, you get like one in the beak. And you take one. Yeah, you're standing pretty close.
That's what I get for chilling.
Yeah, you'll dodge, but as you look back, you see that the Nokia puppet has just shredded through the father, and the shrapnel of the Nokia is still on the edge of the strings, is flying around on the strings, pulling itself back into itself, getting tangled around, and finally, all you can see of her is those bright blue eyes, at the center of a tangled web of strings, and outside the painted workshop. Most of the necromancer puppet is gone, and all that is left is two little hands dancing on the ends of strings. It says, not much left. And then the curtain lowers. And the hands come out, and it raise in a classic shrug gesture.
Visk awkwardly claps at the performance.
It does the little a hand that's not. But then it stops doing that, and it gives a little. It clasps the hands together in prayer, and then kind of dips them to each of you, and it pulls out one last placard that says, "Please help."
What can we do?
The hands turn back into a bird. They link at the thumbs and flap over to the crank, and it mimes turning the crank.
Wow.
And points at you, and mimes turning the crank and points at you.
I don't know if we should trust this.
I trust it with my whole heart.
Your whole heart.
I look into Visk's eyes and just I give it I'm serious.
That's nice, but why?
Were you not paying attention?
Because it's telling us a story.
A good story.
But we don't know if it's true. We don't know if it's lying to us. We don't know its intentions.
Why? What does it gain from lying?
We die and leave.
We'll die and leave anyway.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Oh, you're taking his side. Big surprise.
No.
Big surprise.
I'm turning the crank. I'm cranking. You do whatever you want. I'm cranking.
Ugh.
Staying away from the crank.
Doo-doo cranks.
Yeah, Felicity's staying back with Fisk.
Heartless. The both of you. For shame.
Doo-doo, as you start to turn the crank, and it floats over and back into the theater box and pulls out a little placard and some different letters that it is trying to quickly form into a little message that it points at you, Visk, and Felicity. It says, "Get ready." Doo-doo, as you turn the crank,
what did he say?
An unnoticed hatch in the ceiling creaks open. You can immediately hear that atonal tinkling from outside again, which you now recognize to be an out-of-tune music box. The floating white room you saw outside above is slowly lowered the 40 feet down to the center of the workshop. It's weird because you don't often see a freestanding structure that's about the dimensions of a child's room. It's a weird size building to build. But it lowers slowly, and there is a door on the front of it with a handle, and there is a round window.
Do I still have to keep cranking?
Unless you are interrupting, it lowers to the ground.
Oh.
Yeah. It settles down on the ground, and
crank accomplished.
Yep. The hands
we can leave now. Bye.
Get in front of the door, and it makes a little X with the hands, even though it's hard to put together what it's doing until you mentally add the arms there that formed the X, because otherwise it just looks like hands pointing up at diagonals. But it's forming a little thing that says, it forms a little placard that says, "Very dangerous, not just body."
Is it safe to look in the window?
It considers for a second. It says, "Briefly, if you're lucky."
So, your daughter's in there?
Gives a thumbs up. And then gives a thumbs down, and then gives a back and forth. It's going to take a second to spell something out. It's holds up the one.
Is it the word aberration?
It forms a little thing that says, "Soul stuck in song, song stuck in box, box stuck in room. Box broken. Sold. Changed.
Can we put it back together?
I don't know if we do that. I don't know if that's in our job description.
Maybe fix box, question mark? But I don't know how.
It's a bit out of our wheelhouse.
And that tinkling is like, you can hear it now. And it's like, when you're listening for like, oh, this is a very out of tune song. Or like, not even out of tune. I don't know enough about music to describe what's wrong with it. But it's like, the timing is off. Lots of things are wrong.
Can we look at that box that's broke? The broken box.
It spells out, sure. It says, in room. Built room to contain.
Because these trees are magic of some sort.
Spells out, strange trees. Good for toys.
Felicity is apprehensively approaching the window with the attempt to like sneak a peek without being. She doesn't even really know. Seen, discovered.
Yeah. Make a.
You know what? Felicity, stop. I think I should look at it because I'm reminded of the psychic wastes all of a sudden. If this hurts you,
You think this is the psychic waste?
it's something not of this realm. I've also not been hurt yet, against all odds.
Do you think you can do it without? I guess it doesn't really matter. Go ahead.
Yeah. I could handle looking at the psychic waste. Maybe this is like that.
Yeah, let's see. Well, with the opening and the ceiling, it should actually be very clear in there. As you approach, you also like realize in this brighter light from the thing opening that all of the tools on all of the walls are silver. You've started to get a sense for that at a distance. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Not that I think it's going to be relevant. It's just kind of an interesting detail. It's the only thing that cuts the pine. Yeah, you can peek in that room.
Okay, Visk peeks it through the window.
The first thing that you see is floating in the center of the room a pair of child's eyes, bright blue. You recognize them from the puppet. The eyes are floating at the center of a horrifying mesh, a living web of flesh. It's like if a spider web became a person and then got sick. It's just fucking the worst. You're looking at it, looking at it, and it catches it. It's looking right at you, and I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, I thought so. 11.
Cool. That's not enough.
Nah.
One of those meaty web strings shatters right through the glass and tries to grab you.
Whoa!
Visk!
And it sticks right through you, and you take 4 damage.
Yeah.
As it goes right through your face, things are coming out of it into your body. They feel disgusting, but they immediately recoil away from you and pull back out. But another one of them is reaching around and trying to pull the door open.
Oh, God.
And I'm going to need everybody to roll for initiative again.
Oh, I thought we were...
The music is louder now that this glass is being shattered. The music is louder than it has been. It is echoing out from this room through the broken glass.
I got 13.
Okay, Viska with 13.
11.
Felicity with 11.
20, not natural.
Oh, Doo-Doo with the 20. And then the ghost just took its turn to try to open the door. Doo-Doo, it is your turn. One tentacle has retreated back in, and the other is trying to pull the door open.
What kind of door handle? Just like a regular knob?
Just like a regular, yeah. It doesn't look like it's anything special.
Okay. Shoot. I take Conk, my stick, and just kind of whap the hand away from the door knob.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Just whap it. 7.
Yeah, that misses.
Damn.
Significantly. And instead of trying to open the door, the tentacle tries to go through you.
Hey.
It is going to pierce you. Let's see. Yes. Okay. It is going to shoot right through your throat. And you feel things growing up into your brain and down into your arms and down into your legs. And you are completely unable to resist unless you make a, what is it? Wisdom saving throw. There it is. Yeah. Actually, athletics. Make an athletics. This is an athletics.
Flex your brain.
This is it's trying to control.
I'm pretty good at wisdom and athletics, I gotta say.
Yeah, this is physical though. It is trying to steer your body to force you to open the door.
Oh, well, that was a 6 overall.
Yeah, you calmly, like you've done it 1,000 times, open the door and stand to the side to swing it straight open. I'm going to need Visk and Felicity to both make dexterity saving throws to try to shield your eyes.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Doo-doo, no!
Can I still talk? Can I still quip? Or my mind not my own?
No. You sound like a scared owl throwing up when you try to talk. There's something through your throat.
I got a 19 without adding anything to it. I forget what I was supposed to add to it.
Dex.
It's 11.
Oh, shit. Okay. Felicity, you lock eyes with this thing, and there is a bright blue flash, and you are fucking blind. Like, it's just dark. It hurts. You don't take physical pain except from the shock of just like, it feels like the room went dark, but you're a cat, and you know that's not what happened. You instinctively know you are blind.
I can't see.
Oh, fuck.
Visk, it is your turn. The music is getting louder. Dudu is actually now advancing towards Visk. Conk is trying to like wrap around your arm, Dudu, and pull it back. But it is you are advancing towards Visk. Visk, it is your turn.
Shit.
What do I do? Fuck. What I was going to do before all this shit went down was I was going to tell the others to grab the silver implements on the walls because I can't because it hurts me.
Yeah, you're in a rough situation, huh?
I've got no one to do that for me unless does the father want to help us at all?
It like gestures at itself and then gestures at Silver.
Can you grab those and throw them?
It like does a little thinking and it goes over and picks up one of the puppets and tries to wrap the strings around the Silver and like pull a knife over to you, but it is going to take until your next turn for that to work, if it works.
Shit, it's going to hurt him too.
That's why he's using the puppet. He didn't stop to explain that to you because he's a hand that can't talk, but that is why he's doing this. But you put it together. It's all good.
My character's smarter than me.
So is mine.
Oh, what do I have left to do?
Dudu is getting closer.
Shit.
Pushing, like, he's not able to move quickly, but he is moving. And, like, all of the friendliness and, like, charm of beloved Dudu, the character, it's like how the Grimace was originally a villain. It's like you're seeing dark Dudu.
Oh, man, everything I do does damage. I don't want to hurt Dudu.
And his beak is opening. It opens so wide that it splits at the side. Not like the Joker, but different. In a way that I'm having trouble articulating.
Like Itchy the Killer.
Yeah.
Come on, I can't be the only one who went there after Joker.
I dropped 10 minutes into that movie.
No, it's not Ichi, it's Kakihara.
I was thinking Melina Mortal Kombat, but I didn't want to take 20 god damage for a video game reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Good instinct.
Can I, instead of attacking Dudu, can I attack the daughter? Can I, go past Dudu, basically? Because I wanted to cast Bad Vibes to drive a disorienting spike of psychic energy into the mind of one creature I can see within range. The range is 60 feet. So I want to target that on the eyeballs, basically.
Okay. What is it? It has to beat what your DC is? Tell me again, sorry.
15.
All right. Nokia the Web rolls exactly that. However, you do make eye contact as you are casting this spell, I assume?
Ah, fuck, I'm dumb.
Yeah, make a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 12. Fuck.
Excellent. Cast that spell on yourself.
Oh.
It is rebounded back louder.
Damn. Okay, that's 1d6 psychic damage. 6, baby. I'm just so good at rolling. So in casting this spell, Visk has to look at Nokia. Has to make eye contact, so oops. And the bad vibes is no match for her worst vibes, so it reverbs the spell right back at Visk, and it feels like the worst possible brain freeze. Ow!
Felicity, you're blind.
That's true.
What are you going to do?
Well, I guess the first thing I'm going to do is speak to my sword quickly and say, Ricochet, can you see? Because I can't.
Yes, darling, I see it. I see a room. I see a horrible thing trying. I don't have eyes, so I think I'm safe.
Yeah, thank God.
I think it needs eyes.
Yeah.
Just a little tip from your sword.
I appreciate that.
What counts as eyes? Help!
Sword tip, that's funny.
It's Doo-Doo trying to talk with it in his throat.
God, that's horrific.
How's it going?
So is Doo-Doo like possessed, or is he being like puppeteered? Is there a strand attached to it?
I'm getting puppeteered.
There is a thick, meaty strand that you can't see, but if you're asking, just why don't you ask Ricochet what's happening? That's the way we should handle this.
Well, the reason I ask is because I would have seen it before I got blinded.
Oh.
Yeah, that is the last thing you saw, right? You saw that happen,
All right.
and it sucked. In fact, it's hard to see anything else. It's like your brain is stuck in that skipped CD of an image of the door opening and the eyes, and oh God, you're about, okay. Get your head away from that memory. But yes, that is what's happening.
She shakes her head to dismiss it and just... I need you to guide me to whatever's holding Doo-Doo.
Oh yeah, you got it. It's easy. Yeah, 3 steps to the side, jump forward, swing, duck and roll.
She's going to follow those exact instructions.
All right, make an acrobatics and then an attack roll.
It's me, Doo-Doo.
23 on acrobatics, 17 on attack.
Okay, you, like Satoshi, the blind swordsman, you leap forward, doing a, not like Satoshi, Sonic-style spin in the air, slashing down through the cord that recoils and hisses in like a tinging, clanging, and you land on the ground. You don't know what's happened beyond that. Ricochet said, "You cut, yeah, we cut it, it's cut.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Forward, get the way."
Yeah, I went to forward to get away at her instruction, and if I can, I would like to try to hide from this thing, break up line of sight with it.
It is looking out from a room with the door.
Yeah.
So it is not able to look, like if you can, Ricochet leads you around behind this thing.
Okay, yeah.
You got it bottlenecked.
Perfect, beautiful.
Sort of.
Now it's Nokia's turn. The music gets louder and it gets faster and then it gets slower. Seth, I'm sorry. Why am I calling these shots? Visk, the hands are about halfway towards being back to you with the puppet with the silver in it.
Oh, God.
But the Go Nokia is going to, let's see, who do we got out here? Yes. Okay. Visk, make a wisdom saving throw again.
Woo!
Because this time it is going to send a bright blue strand out of the center of it that you recognize from your time on the roof.
Sadly, it's an 11.
Yeah, that pierces right through you. And you feel something. You feel it hit something you didn't know you had. It's like you thought you were kind of amorphous in there, but suddenly it's like when there's a piece of fruit in the Jell-O that is like just like it's pretty soft, but it's like that's different than Jell-O, and whatever that is being pulled out of inside you. You are starting to deconstitute as this whatever this thing is like pulled out of you. You're trying to pull back, it's coming out of you. You are incapacitated. You are not able to take any actions.
Fuck! Help!
Doo-Doo, it's your turn.
It's me, Doo-Doo. I'm your favorite.
Yeah, like the other end of it is still through your throat. It's just kind of like slapping around, spraying stuff behind you.
What can I do?
I'm
I'm fucked, right?
Well, I've severed you from it.
Oh, so I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, you can now move. Yeah, it cut the thing attached to the back that was like piloting you.
It's stuck in you, but it is not controlling you.
Well, hey everybody, that was fun. Woo!
It's your turn, which is good because otherwise I was going to control you this
And
turn.
I am in front of the door.
Yes, with your back to it
Mhm.
because you were faced towards Visk when this happened.
I just want to, without turning, kind of with my good foot that didn't get hurt, see if I can't just close that door or get it started moving closed.
Yeah, absolutely. Make a, I don't know.
Athletics?
I'm always having you make those. That's so boring. What else are you good at? Let's see. I got a little sheet that tells me what you're good and bad at. Do-do-do.
Scrounge. I wrote scrounge wrong. Insight. Athletics.
I'm going to say, yeah. Well, you know what? Make this is an insight. You have the good idea. Just make a straight up insight roll.
Okay. Insight. Here we go. Please, for the love of shit. Piece of fucking 6.
Your foot gets caught in it, and
The door?
yeah, because it's like you're like you hook it around. It's like you overthink it just a little bit because you're like, well, this is my not hurt foot, so it's the stronger one, but I gotta be careful because then I'll have another hurt foot.
Which way is this door swing again?
Just yeah,
In an innie or an outie?
yeah, and in that like kind of like flailing your foot, just like trying to get some purchase on it, you feel this thing like pierce you through the foot and starts
Ow.
dragging you into the room now.
Did I fall down, my dragon?
Yeah, you're prone and being dragged into the room.
Oof.
And like it's up to you. You know, you can look back or not. You know, it's up to you. Are you, I assume, still trying not?
I probably shouldn't.
All right, good idea. Visk.
Can I do anything? Can I talk?
No. I mean, you can suffer.
Sure can. Darn tootin'.
Jesus.
Suffer like G did.
This seems bad.
Felicity, you feel a hand tap you on the shoulder.
Felicity jumps.
Yeah, that's fair.
It whips around before remembering that the only hands here are not belonging to the creature that is simply a web of flesh.
Yeah, that's a good point. None of you have regular human hands. I didn't think about that. You actually, possibly in response to this, you suddenly feel like understanding flowing through you, and you realize that the hand is just like laid sideways against the flat of Ricochet, palm to palm, and Ricochet's like, okay. Yeah, okay. You all right? No, oh, I like that. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, hey, honey, can you play instrument?
It doesn't really seem like the time.
I think it might be the time. This guy says strings. Maybe we turn this back into the good song.
God.
Bring it all back together.
Yes, I can play instrument.
Great. Can you play me? And you get an image of your head of this. The hands are using the strings from the broken puppet that it was trying to carry to Visk, but that got, Visk got, something's going on with Visk. It is using those strings to like string them onto Ricochet. 4 thick strings.
Felicity like runs her fingers over them. I absolutely can.
Yes. It's 4 thick strings. You know this well.
Yeah, she pulls one of them.
Oh, it sounds like somebody playing a bass string.
Oh man, you are giving Seth too much work at this
I think
one.
that this one is actually going to be my work.
You should have said, actually, guys, I got this.
Everybody gives their notes as Felicity begins to play. So Felicity, you're playing this, and as you are, the music box is still out of key. It's still out of tune. It's still not right. There's something wrong with it. But the way that you are playing, you are like bringing it into a kind of harmony. And the thing that is pulling Visk out of themselves on some kind of existential level, the blue string goes slack, and Visk, you suddenly gain like 90% of your mental faculties back. And you see that this thing that is pulling something out of you is weakening, and the eyes are looking at Felicity, who is doing something with her sword, whatever. But
Visk is scared witless. That core grab felt existentially horrific, like way worse, far worse than any other times they've been attacked like this. They can't process anything else that's happening in the room, and survival is a priority, and they're just desperate, and they shore themselves up just enough to shout, "Jude!"
yes,
Do me a favor, shoot that music box, would you?
I can't fire myself.
God. I didn't know if you could or not.
No, that would be I mean, I wish I could, for sure, but...
You can talk. I thought it was another thing you could just do.
Is that your metric?
Yes, I guess so.
Wait. I'm flailing as I hear Visk scream to shoot it. And I was like, maybe this is something. Just let her cook. Let her cook.
Visk, it's up to you.
Oh, man. Well, she's not supposed to be here anyway, is she?
Visk pulls Jude out and attempts to shoot the music box.
Do you? Does it work?
I don't know. Do I
that's
roll
up to
for
you.
this?
No, it's the...
Do I roll for this? And it's also up for Jude if it works.
No,
Because he's got rules I don't understand still.
The gun fires if you, Visk, believe that this is a righteous kill.
Oh, I'm flashing back to that conversation with the mayor that Fisk only half remembers, and their thoughts are racing. Like,
Oh, God, do I like my job? What kind of a question is that? Am I supposed to like my job? What is my job? Stop necromancy. Stopping necromancy. How do I do that? What does the mayor want from me? I really want to impress him. Is this a thing where... Well, he seems pretty absolute that there are things that should and should not be, and that there's a hierarchy and a natural order to these things.
The slow-mo moment. Doo-doo screaming.
And really, isn't this quite similar to the situation with the Pickleman and Bucksworth at the end of the day? Things not of this realm are doing harm, and they're not supposed to be. And just because this one's a victim of necromancy doesn't mean that we're not supposed to do our job.
Can I roll for this? I don't know what to choose.
Make an insight roll.
Flip a coin.
To know how you feel about this. Or make an insight roll, and depending on how you roll, I'll throw something at you.
A 10, right in the middle, baby.
All you remember...
Well, plus something, I guess. I don't know. Oh, -1, so I got a 9.
Okay, you hear the mayor's voice.
Watch out for them, would you? All of them. The living and the dead.
That's what I remembered? Thanks, brain. That doesn't help at all.
This shoots.
Yeah. The gun fires, the bullet shatters the music box. And Felicity, you are now just playing, it is strums echoing to nothing. And the eyes look pained and frightened, and the web begins to lash around and unravel, and the hands are flapping. Consternation and fear and like trying to go to the web, and you hear the mayor's voice in your head.
Ah, well... Yes, I guess that's one way to handle it. Visk, would you do me a favor and walk into that room?
What? You're here?
I did tell you I was keeping an eye on this one.
Oh, I forgot about that.
This walks into the room.
You see like the hands are like trying to soothe just like a tangled, frightened knot that is like withering away. Tiny blue eyes looking around, darting around.
Put your hand on that, please.
What?
I'm going to need to use you, Visk.
Use me?
We've made a mess. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault in particular. It's just what happened. So just put your hand on that, please.
On the soul strings, sir?
Yes.
Visk puts their hand on the mess of strings.
You feel it's like you touched the third rail, but it's not coming from the strings. Something is flowing through you, and it's like a river going through a drinking straw. Something is channeling through you, and the strings freeze. Just stop, dead in place. And so does everything around you. And the strings begin to slowly reverse their motions and reverse, and you see them start to untangle until they look just like instead of a knot, it is a loose spool of strings. And it is a sight that is very familiar to you because you have seen it happen so many times with Felicity, as these strings begin to knit themselves back together. And as they do, the strumming of the guitar is keeping time with the strings, forming back into the soul of a dead little girl. Who looks up, around at the room, and then sinks into the floor.
Okay.
Yeah. The hands fly straight at you, Visk, and try to choke you. Make a strength saving throw.
I understand you're angry, sir.
Again, you can feel something inside, something deeper in you being gripped than is usually. It doesn't feel like when a human hits you, or even like a giant wooden sword. This feels like something is going at you at your core.
No, not again.
The other two, y'all are. Oh yeah, Felicity, you are still blind. You are just strumming. You hear this happening. Doo-doo, you're in pain.
I'm sad.
And I got an 18.
Yeah, you resist. You you can just knock them aside, and they like clatter across the floor. The thumbs link together, but this time they're not like a bird. They're like a little spider on the ground, and it looks its thumbs up at you, Visk, like just pointing those two spider thumb head up at you, and then just before anybody can react, skitters up and up and up and out through the skylight and are gone.
It's his fault anyway, this all happened.
What was that?
Felicity, are you still blind?
Felicity waves her hand in front of her face.
Yeah, if anybody wants to take a closer look at Felicity's eyes, they can.
Sure.
Yeah, Felicity looks to them.
I get up right to Felicity's eyes. Get up right next to him. I want to look right in deep into them.
Do you still have that thing in your throat?
I want to look at the thighs.
Yeah, they're just like pure white, like just like nothing.
Cool.
What do they look like? What do you see?
Not much.
Yeah, not much.
That's what I was afraid of. That's all I can see, too.
Dirt mouth, wide eyes.
Can't lose.
You're my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Oh, even better.
I kiss Felicity on the top of the head. Mwah.
Felicity, you feel a little bit better from the kiss. I mean, I don't want to make that decision from you.
You're sweet, Doo-Doo. Thank you.
You feel a beak tapping in the top of your head.
Clud.
Aw.
How can anyone not feel better around Doo-Doo the owl?
That was a righteous kill.
Visk, you hear in your head.
It was?
You think so, don't you?
Mostly.
You did, for an instant, and that was long enough.
I know my job. My job is to stop necromancy. Doesn't matter how cute it is. Doesn't matter if it's got a family. Doesn't matter if there's a sad story attached to it. It's not supposed to be here, and it can live perfectly nicely when it's dead.
Visk, what is going on?
Nothing.
What did you do? I can't see.
Nothing. The problem's solved. That's all that matters.
It doesn't seem like all that matters, but okay.
And the hands ran away.
Oh, God.
So I'm sure he'll be a problem eventually.
God, this just feels so wrong.
Can we just go home?
Yeah. You can.
Okay. I guess we're done. I'll see you guys back at home. I hit the go home button.
Okay, you hit the go home button, and your soul leaves your body, and a pretty fucked up owl looks around and is like, I gotta get to the doctor, and flaps away. It could talk. We'll never know why. Felicity, you feel like you're just kind of hanging on. If you want, you could let go if you want.
Yeah, Felicity, who has been like using the wall behind her to brace herself, sort of slides to the ground. So she's sitting with her back against the wall and just sort of lets her chin go to her chest and just sort of feels as though just falling asleep.
Yeah, the momentum of your descent carries your soul down to Ghost Town, and Visk, you are left alone in an empty room.
Do I like my job?
Yeah, like I said, no picnic. Listen, sorry, but I actually got to get out of here. There is something back at the office that sort of needs my immediate attention. But it was nice to meet you. Yeah. Sorry. Look out for yourself, okay? See you around.
You've just heard Amber Carr as Felicity Fairweather, Casey Green as Doodoo the Owl, and Jess O'Brien as Visk. Skulltenders is game mastered by Cohen Edenfield, with original music composed by Seth Boyer. Editing and sound design by Jess O'Brien. We hope you'll consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can find all sorts of chilling and original bonus content, including an after show dedicated to each episode. And if not, well, we get everyone in the end.